Hey, good morning to you. Welcome back to Morning Live. My name is Vosiwe Ngobo for the Sports Desk. Now, Kaizer Chiefs are the most successful club in South African football. This is, of course, in terms of trophies in the top flight, but silverware has been a rare commodity in Naturena of late. Now, in a bid to get back to their glory days, many changes have been made, and one of those changes is returning to an apparel sponsor that they used in the past with great success. Now, to help us talk about this, we have the team's sporting director, Kaizer Motaung Jr., the marketing and commercial director, Jessica Motaung, as well as the head of Kapa South Africa, Ricky Joseph. Good morning, gentlemen and lady. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Good
Looking
morning.
very nice in your bright colors. That almost looks like a Springbok jersey. But Kaizer, let me start with you. Let's get the tricky stuff out of the way.
Yes.
Let's talk to the fact that a lot of Kaizer Chiefs supporters are talking about how the glory days haven't really been a Naturena, 8 seasons trophyless now, whilst some other clubs that you compete against are entrenching themselves not only in South Africa but also on the continent. Let's talk to that in terms of the Kaizer Chiefs family.
No, I think it's very clear to us in terms of our objectives. So now we know with us we're a club that is built on the heritage of success, winning trophies, and excellence. So at the same time, we've had to be able to balance our short-term objectives and able to put together a plan that will bring sustainable success. So we know that our fans want to smile in their face. We know they want to see a great brand of football. We know they want to celebrate trophies. So I think if you look at many of the changes that we've made on the technical side, it's been informed by this. We've strengthened in very key areas in the squad, had a nice blend of youth and experience, and I feel also that new technical restructuring that we are on the path to make sure that we reach our dominance once again.
Bring you back the glory days.
Without a doubt.
Jessica, Kaizer touches on the fans and what they want and what they love, but if there's one thing about Kaizer Chiefs supporters is that they will stand by the club through thick and thin. Talk to us about how you've just managed to keep this relationship with your supporters going over the years. I mean, one of them is right here behind me. We won't mention names, but she's behind me.
No, a very important relationship. Our supporters are very key to us, and that's why we partner with the right partners and make sure that we activate and engage with them all the time. And I'm so excited with the partnership with Kapa because they understand our supporters. And when our supporters go out to retail in this season, they will have everything. They will look amazing because they have just prepared supporter wear, the kit and everything that's going to make them happy.
And I must say, this jersey does look very, very beautiful. Ricky, let me bring you into the discussion now. This relationship, Kapa and Kaizer Chiefs, is one that we grew up seeing while I was still a baby. But I mean, when you think of this relationship, you can automatically just see that picture of Dr. Kumalo. Tell us what was the driving factors that led back to this reunion?
Well, I think, Kaizer Chiefs speaks for themselves. As I said to many people, a sports sponsorship for a team like Kaizer Chiefs comes around every 5 to 10 years. So in my last 10, 12 years working with the brand, this was the second opportunity we got to sign a club like Kaizer Chiefs. And we've had the success with many other clubs in the PSL, but not the biggest. And now is the time to bring back the glory days, as you mentioned, to Kaizer Chiefs. And there's a reason we called a technical partner.
Yes.
We're a technical sponsor. So as the club reshuffles themselves technically, we're going to add to that by giving them the best technical merchandise.
Jessica, maybe just talk to us a little bit more about your kit this season. What were the things that you thought about just in terms of the fans being able also to wear your apparel when they go to your games?
Well, first of all, one of the things that was very important for them to wear the apparel is that it must be accessible. And a partner like Kapa is taking us to all the retailers, and I'm excited for that. That's very important, the accessibility to the product and the quality of the product. And you can see this jersey, it's bold, it's strong. We decided to leverage the history, but look to the future and make sure that we make our Amakosi people look absolutely glorious.
Indeed. Let me bring you back, Kaizer, because we look at the apparel and we're talking technical partner, but you also spoke about the technical part of the team. We know that you were out in Tanzania pre-season. You had a game against Young Africans. Talk to us about what you saw on the field and what it is that you took away from that encounter against Yanga.
I think you mentioned a point about our you can say, rivals, entrenching themselves on the continent. For us, a massive component and part of our strategy is getting back on the continent. You know, if you want to be and stand as a big team, you have to be the best on the continent. So Champions League, playing in CAF is a massive priority for us. So I think it also informed our trip to Tanzania. A great partner in Young Africans. You know, they're doing very innovative stuff as a club. It was an honor also to get the invite, and I think also for our group of players, it sort of began to open the eyes for some of the newer guys to say, listen, this is where we want to be. We want to be on the continent, test ourselves against the best on the continent, test out a new atmosphere, understand what it takes, you know, outside of our borders. But it was a great trip. Obviously, it's still in preparation phase. Even though we have about 2 weeks left till the season, it had a nice little mental edge to the game, even though it was a friendly. But of course, it's something that we are looking to do again as we go to Botswana on the weekend. We're trying to touch as many of our continental partners as we can. But of course, it's one eye on getting back into CAF. So it was a good test and something we look forward to doing more of.
And were you happy with the quality of play that you saw on the field on the day?
I think we were. Again, it's preparation. You know, a game is broadcast live on TV, certain expectations, but we had I think it was about 2.5, 3 weeks of pre-season training. We have brought about 7 new players into the squad. So we're having 7 new players now. We've had new additions last year. So it's a key time in getting the right combinations and just getting that right sort of essence within the team, but that takes time too. So while the fans come through and want to see a finished product on the day, we know on the back end that there's still a lot of work for us to do, and we're just excited for the 6th of August, because that's when the business begins for us, and we promise our fans that come the 6th that we will be a much more geared outfit for the task at hand.
A well-oiled machine,
Exactly.
he says, in different words. Ricky, let me just come back to you now, and let's talk about just the pressure and the challenge of putting together a kit this season that lives up to the expectations that were set in the past and the standard that was set in the past in terms of Kapa and Kaizer Chiefs.
So, I mean, since we were partners in the early 90s, things have changed technically. Even last night when we launched the kit, we had some of the legends talking about the silky quality. Thank goodness these kits are not silky anymore.
I'm sure the silky wasn't good for the odor, right?
Never. In fact, in the past, it was all about the print, not actually about the quality. So, but truthfully, one thing that was not pressurized with the Kaizer Chiefs partnership was the quality of the kit. Kapa is world-renowned for its quality in merchandise and kit, and one of the excitements of our side as a Kapa brand was to introduce to Kaizer Chiefs and to their players that as much as they thought they had the best, now they've really got the best.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. Finally, Jessica, before we say goodbye, let's talk to affordability.
Well, definitely affordable, and I think that's the one thing we looked at is, do we have a partner who understands our support base, who understands the climate that we're in? And Ricky knows the product that we selected together, not only the kit, just the T-shirts, the caps, there's just so much for supporters. I'm very excited.
Finally, Junior, before I let you go, we've seen quite a bit of a turnover in terms of coaches at Kaizer Chiefs and the duration that they've kept at the club. Are you now, as a club, just looking to try and focus at having a coach be with the club on a longer basis than what we've seen of late?
No, I think we always focus on projects, and I think also what's key this year is to understand is we have a coach who was previously our head of technical. So it was a technical structure that had worked together last season. So from our side and our standpoint, there's a lot of continuity, there's a lot of alignment, and the decision was made for that specific purpose, you know. So as opposed to being a new coach, it's just the restructuring. And I think the technical minds, the players that have been profiled and brought to the club, it was all done within the same structure. So we're just very excited to make sure that we give them all the support that they need, and look forward to the technical stuff coming together and giving us a great product this year.
Well, gentlemen, lady, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best for the upcoming season.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Kaizer Chiefs family. Well, just basically telling us about the partnership with Kapa, what the season's kit is looking like, and also what the expectations are for the upcoming season. That's how we wrap up your sport news in this hour. But still to come on Morning Live this morning. Now, South Africa's youth unemployment rate stands at over 50%, and a United Nations Development Programme and the Human Sciences Research Council report has described the situation as a ticking time bomb. To discuss this, Morning Live will be joined virtually this hour by the UN Development Programme Resident Representative, South Africa, Dr. Ayodele Odusola. So do stay tuned for that. But for now, let's get you up to date with your morning headlines.